I think Jan's going to be very hard to beat. I think he's going to be up there for a long time. You saw in that fight when he fought Aldo, his resilience, his ability to come back into a fight when he was losing that, because there were some moments in that fight that it was hairy, and he just came back. He never went away. It's and his skill set's top tier. He's got super high caliber wrestling and super high caliber striking. He's a very, very tough fighter.
I think Aljamain Sterling. I think Aljamain Sterling has more technique. Petr is tough. He has an amazing pressure, and he's very durable. His chin is like a stone, But I think Aljamain Sterling has more skills, more abilities to finish to build the fight in his own style. He has the kicks, he has distance, he had very nice punches, and amazing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He can get up to if Petr try to take Aljo down. So I go with the Amir.
That's the fight that I've been wanting to see for a long time. I have no idea who's going to win that fight. If I'm going off of pure grit and toughness, I'm going to go with Petr Yan. But, man, Aljamain Sterling, man, he's just one of those guys that he'll surprise you. Because I had no idea he would do that to Sandman Sanahagen, the way he did it. So I'm not going to pick on that fight just because it's too crazy. But I'm going to contradict myself. Actually, I'm going to pick Aljamain Sterling just because he surprised me before, and he has kept surprising me. So I'm going to pick Aljamain. But, yeah, that was a tough fight for me to call. It's a super tough fight for me to call. I'm actually really excited to see that fight.
That's a good fight. That's a good matchup. Aljamain Sterling has grown so much as a fighter. If I would have dissected Aljamain Sterling's game a year or two ago and matched them up, I would have said, if Aljamain doesn't get him down, he's going to slow down in the striking department, because Aljamain's game used to be kind of John Jones's. He would throw long kicks at range and just whatever it hits, your elbow or your stomach, he's throwing those kicks. And then when he gets you fear in the kicks, he might throw a punch to set up the takedown. And that was his game, and he was high level with that. And then he fought my guy, Munoz. Blanking on my friend's name. He fought my Brazilian friend who went from Black House. Pedro Munoz. Good fight, but Aljamain showed his hands that I'd never seen. I'd never seen the side of Aljamain's hands, being able to throw the combination, stand there in the pocket, head movement in and out. So like, oh shit, now Aljamain Sterling added boxing to his arsenal with the long kicks, and he's got devastating grappling. I've grappled with him before. He's like a spider monkey. You can't get him off you. So I'm going to go with Aljamain, man. Jan's a beast, but Aljo's different. He's cut from a different cloth. He's like pound for pound. You look at the guy, he's a shredded up, lean muscle guy, very explosive. And I think it's his time. I feel like he served his dues, and this is his time now.
I got Petr Yan. That's a bad boy. I think that he's also going to be a second or third round stoppage.
Ooh, that's actually a very, very good fight that I'm looking forward to. I know Sterling has been waiting a long time for that title shot, and it's a tough one, but I think like Aljamain Sterling is a bit bigger than him, and I think that's going to play a bit of a factor in the fight. I don't think Petr Yan going to be able to push him off him, and I think people underrate Aljamain's jiu-jitsu actually. I think he have a great jiu-jitsu, but you don't always see it in the fights. But I think against Petr Yan is going to be a very important factor.
That one's a good one too. Ooh. You said Aljo?
Aljo and
Aljo,
of course.
We'll go with Aljo.
Man, Jan's pretty tough right now. I like them both. I think it's going to be exciting. Sterling may be able to, out-grapple him, but I think as far as an overall mixed martial artist, I think Jan's a little bit more complete.
I like Jan. He's a stud. He's a stud, man. And Aljamain Sterling is another one of those guys that I personally have bet against in the past, and he smoked me. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled it out. He's got great wrestling. He's got great grappling. You know, and he's kind of found a game, kind of like Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson's not a great striker, but he's kind of found a game in kicking the calf and then throwing a knee up the middle. Like it's like he doesn't have great boxing or anything like that, but he'll kick the shit out of your calf and throw a knee right up the middle. Aljamain Sterling's kind of found a striking game that works for him with throwing the kicks and the way he throws them and stuff like that. And then he gets in on his takedowns and he's a finisher. So he has great grappling, but I just think that Petr Yan is. I think he's the total package. I think that he's the best fighter at 135 in the world, and I think he'll win.
And I really don't have a prediction. It's like if Aljamain can take Yan down, I think it's obvious that he's gonna win. You know, but can he? Petr Yan is a scrambly dude. I mean, his wrestling's a lot better than I thought. When I watched him defend that shot against Jose Aldo, that's high level stuff. That's not, you know what I mean? Being a wrestler myself, like you have to be really, really good to be able to do the things that Petr Yan does, like from a wrestling standpoint, defensively. And, you know, if I'm being honest, I don't think Aljamain Sterling's shot is that great. I just think he kind of wears guys down. And Petr Yan doesn't wear down. Like that guy is just meaner and meaner as the fight goes on.
Man, that's tough too. I like Petr Yan. I like him, man. He hasn't shown that he can be beat yet, so we'll see.
Very interesting matchup, man. We're going to see how Petr is on the ground. That's another dude who's pretty ferocious. I think Petr Yan will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Funk Master gets him to the ground and takes that back and becomes the backpack that he is.
With that original flow, head kicks with the pros, picks of the fights or anything in the mix. Getting closer to the heart of the flame, bringing conversations with heavy hitting names. You feel the love of the game.